Hi, I'm Jeff Clark Jr., and this is Art and Underdogs. Today I'm joined by my damn self. No, I don't mean me, myself, and I mean MDS. Writer, director, hip hop artist, editor. The man, he wears many hats, and that's what makes him so talented. He does a little bit of everything, and he does it well. You see, I used to write and perform hip hop with MDS myself, and we actually met in Brooklyn at Five Spot. Well, Five Spot, they're long gone, but MDS is still here, creating and producing art. Here's a clip of his latest work.
First time I left Brooklyn, it was West Palm. 99, about to be 21, season done, so my fucking focus wasn't that clear. Only thing I knew that I wasn't coming back here. When I came back here, everything came clear. New season, only difference now I play on air. Up in a mix of every label that exists. CMJ, Charlie, now a nigga dictate hits. Now I'm inside learning, too over interning. Design for the yearnings, man was I determined to sign on the line. Whoever did offer, shocking word from Shockley, the industry's over. Fly on the wall, how I gained this info. Slowly lost faith, cause the truth can't be so. Being independent was the only road. Niggas don't give a fuck, and my mind was nympho. Therefore, I chose to ride on my own. Yeah, I know, cost more to do it alone, but it's worth more, cause show to get what I'm owed. And I made a team up, come to get it for show. So what's up?
MDS, welcome to the podcast, man. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Peace and blessings. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So that was your music video for your latest song, The Journey.
Yeah.
Some really powerful lyrics in that. What made you write that song?
It's basically like a story, a combination of all my attributes and processes of going through this music in the journey as itself, and coming to this point for the album, which is Language of the Leaders, Volume 3. So that's the end track to that album. So
Okay. What's Language of the Leaders? Can you explain that?
It's a trilogy musical that musical storyline, basically portrayal of life as an artist, life as an underground artist, life as a leader, life as the head of your own entity. Leaders have certain languages that they talk. You know, you talk certain things to your bosses rather than you talk certain things to your workers. So I just wanted to be on a level of saying that you're your own leader at all times. So if I have to talk to you in a certain way, this is the language that leaders use because I'm one. So I just did a whole album and music catering to that process, thought, mindset, and all that stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, leadership is different, right? Leaders kind of, their language is actions.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not speaking or talking. It's leaders lead by doing, right? They're doing.
Exactly.
Interesting. So in the song The Journey, you had a bar in there. It says every new path just reminds you what you came from.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So in your journeys of life, you go through sometimes what I call mountains, and like you reach the peak of a mountain and there's another mountain that you may see. So when you get to that new mountain, you already know how to climb it because you've been through climbing already due to the previous mountain that you just came from. So we're just reiterating that status that, you know, every time you come up with something new, you have the past as your tools, as your experience, as your upliftment to get you through this new journey that you're going to.
Yeah. Lessons learned, experience.
That's right. All the time.
For sure. Nah, definitely. In the same song, The Journey, you mentioned back in 1999, you left Brooklyn for West Palm, and you were 21 years old, right?
Yeah.
So why did you leave New York?
I had nothing positive doing. I was turning into the streets. I was turning into, doing all the cliche-ish hood stuff that you can possibly think of. And
Yeah.
I decided it was either sink or swim at that time, and I needed to see new horizons. Also, at the time, my aunt was retiring, so I had an
Okay.
opportunity to go to West Palm, actually sit down and learn the process of buying homes and
Oh
stuff
wow.
like that. So I went through that process with her, and I learned myself, and that's what West Palm was, and a lot more. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, when you grow up in the hood, which I did. I didn't grow up in the city, but
yeah,
it was very poverty stricken. The town that I grew up in called Pennsgrove. It's a small town in the Salem County, New Jersey,
all right,
and it's very poverty stricken. There's not a ton of opportunities, and it's like a hard life for a lot of people. Um, and sometimes you have to leave those environments to just to better yourself. Even if you leave that environment and it's an even worse environment, at least you're away from the stuff that you were a
yeah,
part of. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It's like a new start. It's a fresh start. So I can kind of relate to that. Um, in your song, you mentioned you worked at CMJ. Can
yeah.
you tell us what that is?
So in college, right, I went to Fashion Institute, big up Fashion Institute Technology.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
my major was advertising marketing. So in there, I was the president of the radio station. So be it that I was in every label, so I messed with every label at the time. And at that particular time, the Rockefeller situation was happening. Def Jam was breaking up, and I was charting because it's college. There's a college music journal, so they chart, the top 10, what you spinning on your radio shows and stuff like that. So I would chart, and those charts will culminate to spins and sales for what they were promoting at the time. So I would go in there. So I would go to Def Jam, I would go to Rockefeller, I would go to Universal, I would go to the different labels, and whoever gave me more stuff, I would put their song higher on the chart, because it counted for them, and I was learning the business at the time too. So it's like I didn't understand what the charting power meant at the time. So I was just doing it to get my free stuff. I'm in college, I'm in the
Yeah.
labels, and I'm rubbing shoulders with dudes, and I thought I was doing great, but that's exactly what it was. It was charting and learning what's a hit, what's not a hit, and dictating what went on as a single and what went on as your album filler.
What did you go to the Fashion Institute of Technology for?
Marketing. I went there to play ball on some real, like I was playing high school ball. I did a whole year after I graduated. I did a whole year of street shit, and it just so happened my high school coach was the owner of a camp in Greeley, Pennsylvania. So I went there with two other ballers to teach basketball, and from there, miraculously, I got a call from Fashion Institute. I didn't know that they came to any of the high school games and was scouting and stuff like that. So I thought I was Kevin Durant, LeBron. Like, they just called me, yo, you on the team? I'm like, shit, I ain't got to
Yeah.
practice. So I showed up, and I went, and I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna quit the first day because we had tryouts, and they made us run around. If you familiar with FIT, it's on 27th Street in Manhattan between 8th and 7th Avenue. There's no park, there's no nothing around there
Yeah.
fit for basketball. So our practice was run around the block, the actual block,
Mm.
for an hour straight. And then after that, you had calisthenics, and then it was practice. Coming straight from the studio, smoking weed and all that shit. When the hour went up, I was hurling, and everybody was looking at me like, you definitely can't make it. And it's like a team thing, so you got to do it, the whole
Yeah, yeah.
team. So Yeah, everybody was pissed off at
Wrong
me.
spot.
So we got on the court and I had to prove myself. The dudes that was there last year started kicking ass and they wouldn't pass me the ball at all. I had to steal the ball from my own teammate and actually
Oh,
start
that,
playing. Yeah, it was
that's
like real
hilarious.
shit. So, you know, us
Give me that ball.
Brooklyn ballers, you know what I mean. When they
Okay, hold on, hold
chucking,
on, hold on.
yeah.
First of all, I didn't know FIT even had a basketball
That's
team.
what I'm, oh man, we gonna get into
And,
stories of that. That's crazy,
and
yeah.
second of all, you're running around the block in mid, like, it's not Midtown, it's 27th, but
Yeah,
it's like
pretty much,
it's like it's in
yeah.
the city.
Yeah,
It's like,
city.
so you're running around. So what are you, like, running, like jumping over homeless people? Like, how does that work?
Exactly. You got
Like you got to like dodge people walking down the street. How does that
for
work?
those who don't know, Crush Groove, right? Remember the movie Crush Groove?
It sounds
That
familiar.
was filmed right at FIT. So the
Okay.
houses and tenements you see out there. So you have schools, you got the students, then you got regular people walking. So yeah, you're dodging, you know, pedestrians, you're dodging crackheads, you dodging a bunch of shit,
Yeah.
and the coach is going the opposite way. So you can't like chill or stop at no point of time. And no one told me
People
this
walking
shit.
dogs.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it wasn't as crazy as it would be right now. Everybody with their dogs walking and shit. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a pretty funny.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
Damn. Yeah, I went to the Art Institute of Philadelphia, and they did not have any sports teams.
yeah, and
But
what was funny, listen, they recruited nothing but street dudes. You know what I mean? Like
okay.
people had no business being in FIT just because you balled. Like half the squad, we had records. You know, some was on parole.
Yeah.
It was second chance of life opportunities for others.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was beautiful, though. It was beautiful.
Well, yeah, it is beautiful because, you know, it kept them out of trouble, kept people out of trouble off the
Exactly.
streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good program though.
Yeah.
Wow. I just learned something new. So I actually interviewed someone who went to FIT.
Mhm.
But it was I think when did you
I
when did you go there?
graduated 2007.
Okay, I think it was before that, yeah.
Mm.
But no, it's interesting. So back to the music.
Yeah.
How do you usually start to write a song? You know, what's the first step in your process?
It depends. So me myself as MDS, right? I have 3 personalities within myself. So it's like Ant Rocks is the young spirit. Then you have Chief Smoke Bowl, that's the high, say the outlandish shit. And then there's Normal Chronicle, straight to the point, business shark essence. So whatever I'm feeling, that entity takes over. So it may be an issue of I hear a beat and then the beat tells me what to write. And then there's more instances.
Wow.
Yeah, like you hear a beat and it's like, all right, that sounds you are an artist yourself, so you know it's like, damn, that sounds like a girl song, or that sounds like a Wild Out song, or that sounds like, yo,
Yeah.
I should just be spitting lyrics to it, or I gotta say something, you know, intellectual. So that part plays into it. And then sometimes you in the crib and a line will just hit you, like, yo, that da 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 da. And you like, damn, all right. You start jotting down that line and it turns into a verse. That's turning 4 bars, 4 turn to 8, 8 turn to 16. You got a verse right there. And then you just find a beat. So it's really how I'm feeling that day, or how the song is. But I normally 80% of the time let the beat dictate what I'm gonna write.
That's interesting. The multiple, you know, personality. Would you consider yourself bipolar then? No, I'm
Hell
just
yeah, pretty much. I'm not even gonna lie about it.
No, I'm just
I'm
messing with you.
schizo, crazy, all that, but in a good way. In a good way.
But let me tell you, man, your music is really. I love your music,
I
like
appreciate
especially
it.
your lyrics. I feel like you're a really good writer.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you the song that we did together for my album,
Yeah.
what, years ago now, when I was still making music. Uh, I just felt like your writing was so strong, man. Like, and even the other artist on the track said to me, you know, to the side on the side, he would say to me, he's really talented. I was like, I know.
I
Um,
appreciate it. I appreciate
yeah,
it.
man, really good writing.
Hell yeah. Jerry Vicious, what up? You can forgot him, we ain't forgetting.
Yeah, shout out to Jerry Vicious, who I might
Straight
bring
up.
on the podcast too. We'll see if he wants to do it. But he said he's interested.
It with that track, I was trying to keep up with y'all like on some real shit because like when you set it off so beautifully, I was like, God damn, I can't let him down. And then when I heard Jerry, I was like, fuck, yeah, I gotta go in. So it's like, and
Yeah.
again, I didn't take long because sometimes like when you think about it too long, it don't come out authentic. You know, so it was just
Yeah.
after the first two lines, it was over with. I was just going, and you know, like I said, I was trying to keep up with you too. So
Yeah. Yeah. It was we gonna see, right?
yeah, we
I think
gonna
that was
see.
yeah. We
Yeah,
gonna see. We gonna see.
we gonna see.
Oh man. Yeah, I had to give up the music, man. I'm so
Nah,
obsessed with
you
acting.
you are dope, brother. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man. I
Ever since
appreciate
that,
that.
I told you from that first show. Now, for those who don't know,
Mm.
you know what I mean? JC the Truth, he rolled. It was like Jesus and the disciples. He had they had the crew up there that came and they killed it. You know what I mean? They had a great like 20-minute set of straight hits, like nonstop, and it was going. I had to walk up to the brother and you know give him his props and I was there on some just coming to perform and that you know what I mean and I was actually trying to take the show over. Like, if the
Yeah. Now you're
the
great,
next
man.
few weeks I wound up hosting, yeah, because I knew
Okay.
I met L Rock there and you know I
Yeah,
seen
DJ L Rock. Shout out. Yeah.
yeah, and I seen that he needed a host, and I said next week I'm gonna go there and see if I could. And he let me host for like a good 3 weeks. He let me host.
Nice. Do you still talk to him?
Occasionally I check on. You know, I ain't gonna lie and be like, yo, I talk to him every day, but I
Yeah.
always hit everybody just checking in on you,
Yeah.
text
Is he
or
still
whatever.
is he still DJing? Is he still doing
Yeah,
that?
yeah, he's still DJing.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. So where do you usually find instrumentals? And do you usually or do you like produce your own stuff?
That's the only thing I wish I don't have the patience to produce right now. I did a couple tracks. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like you know, you with a producer and he show you how to do 1, 2, 3, and you do that, and it sounds very 1, 2, 3 ish. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I have I'm lucky to bump into artists that produce themselves. So sometimes they lend me tracks. Majority of the time, like I would tell a lot of artists, you go to YouTube and you find the groove for yourself because there's a lot of producers that produce tracks on YouTube, and you
Yeah.
pay for the track that you download because if you pay for it and you send it back to the producer, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna open the doors for you, unless the song is whack. But other than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the formula. I've been I got a nephew named J Max, and he works at Hot 97 right now. He's a monster. Um, Young, very Sunic is another family member, producer of mine. We've done a couple tracks. Um, the guy who done the Journey, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Prime Beats, like Granddaddy Beats. I know him as Prime, but it's Granddaddy Beats. He's been internet radio. I mean, they've been doing hip hop radio. I think on from not what's the other shit before Facebook. Everybody was on
MySpace.
MySpace,
Yeah.
and they had a whole basically dedicated to underground MCs and acts and stuff like that. So that's how we linked. And
Getting your
again,
instrumentals and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, so I meet producers, I meet artists who produce, and a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, like that track itself, like a lot of people passed up on, and I
Hmm.
just I like weird shit sometimes, and something
Well,
just
your voice went well with it.
yes,
I felt like it was a good fit. Yeah.
yeah. So that's how I normally do songs. So
Okay. Have you heard of Gju.com? They're not a sponsor of this podcast, but
no, I
have
haven't.
have you heard of So I was getting my exclusive beats from there.
All right,
Um Pretty good prices and you get a contract with it. You should check it out. Gju.com. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Gju.com. All right,
Yeah.
you owe him some sponsorship for that plug.
Affiliates, what's up? No.
That's right. That's right.
Um so is the journey, is it a single? Is it a part of a bigger album?
It's part of the album TL, Language of the Leaders, Part
Mm-hmm.
3. This rendition is called Rinse, Unwash, Repeat. So basically just doubling down or tripling down, Trey I. I'm tripling down on the mindset of being a leader and
Mm-hmm.
just leading by example, leading by your words, leading by your choices. And that's what, even though you're gonna have hate and people are always gonna tell you you're doing wrong, and that's a
Yep.
given. A given of life is hate.
If you
So
want to be, especially if you want to be an artist,
yes, yes.
get ready.
Oh man.
You better have some thick skin or develop some because it's
Yeah.
gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It
That's
is
why
what
the
it is.
bipolar thing comes in. Like we could do a whole like series of talking of that. And I would tell people all the time, therapy is the best thing in the world. Like hands down. You
Well,
know what I
art
mean?
is therapy, right?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And we look for the
It really is,
recognition.
man. It really
Exactly.
is.
And that's how we
Yeah.
look for our recognition and acceptance through our art sometimes. And you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah. There's so many stories of art just saving people's lives. They become obsessed with it, and it just keeps them out of trouble, and that's all they focus on. Just art.
yeah,
It's a beautiful thing, man.
yeah, definitely is.
Um. So let's go into the underdog story. Let's go into the next segment.
All
This
right.
is the underdog segment, where we learn a little bit more about you and what makes you you, right? What makes
Gotcha.
you tick. So the first question is, where did you grow up?
Brooklyn, New York, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Family from Trinidad, the whole family from Trinidad. Me and my sister were like the only ones born in America. So I'm American born Trini.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up on Franklin Ave, infamous Franklin Ave, in Brooklyn, New York, Crime Heights, which is Crown Heights. I grew up also in East New York, where I'm actually at right now. Family has a family building that we had over 60 years here in East New York. So I'm like
Nice.
holding it down right now. And born and raised Brooklyn. I spent some time, of course, in West Palm, and
Yeah.
majority of the
Yeah.
time is Brooklyn.
Okay. Yeah. My sister-in-law, my brother's wife, is from Trinidad.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, all right. Eating that
Um.
roti. You know about roti and curry? Yes, you know about it.
So what was your neighborhood like growing up?
Very. The first neighborhood I grew up in, my pops was a street dude, so
Mm-hmm.
he was one of kind of like an enforcer security for a mob family in Brooklyn. So I kind of grew up around the gangster type people and not wanting to do it as I grew up. Then I moved to Franklin Ave, which is we kind of split East New York and Franklin. So weekends I would be in East New York, and during the week because of school I'm on Franklin Ave. So
Yeah.
you had the crack epidemic, you had shooting nonstop, violence, getting robbed. I also grew up with the DSEPs. I was a baby DSEP at the time.
What's a DSEP?
DSEP was like a New York gang, like a New York kind of like a Blood or Crip,
Okay.
situation. But DSEPs were New York's Blood and Crip before we actually had Blood and Crip.
Got you.
You had the we walked around with hammers, actual hammers on the hip, like shit you banging nails with. You had socks with locks and chains, and before Homie the Clown type. Yeah,
Homie,
so
don't play that.
Homie
Yeah.
don't play that. We ain't play that. And the shuttle train. Then you had the Wolf
Yeah.
Pack. So it was survive
Yeah.
only. You know what I mean? So that's what we were taught, and yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to another guest about this who grew up in Queens.
Mm.
Um, the kids that grow up in the city, they grow up so fast, man. There's just so much action and violence, and you see a lot of things growing up, and it's not easy. I'm sure it wasn't easy for you,
Not
because
at
you
all.
see so much at a young age. You know what I mean?
And that was my thing. Like again, because of my pop situation,
Mm-hmm.
one of my first homes was on Eastern Parkway. If you're familiar with Brooklyn, that's where they hold the Labor Day parade. but it was
Okay.
across the
Yeah.
street from the Botanical Gardens. So at the time, a family, you know, and some street stuff. So we kind of had happy hour in our house every day. So this is
Gotcha.
the time where the grown-ups come and you know they do, and I was to be outside of the apartment. So
I
that's where
got
you
you.
learn the neighborhood. But of course, your father shows you the hooligans and you know all these different entities of people that make the neighborhood the neighborhood. So that's how I grew up. So by the time I was 10, 12, teenage, I didn't want no parts of, I seen so much adult things
Yeah.
and I didn't want to be an adult, if that makes sense. So I kind
Yeah.
of just wanted to
That
live
makes perfect sense.
my adolescence and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah. I tell my daughter, enjoy being a kid.
Oh man. They
'Cause
don't know
once
that.
you get older, yeah, once you get older, it gets harder as you get older.
Yep. Very much.
Man, we try to, my wife and I, we try to let her have a good childhood, especially with my background. I had kind of a tragic, upbringing. It was just a lot of like toxic stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Abuse and toxic stuff. So I try to give my daughter a better life, and I'm sure you do the same for your kids too.
Yes,
Try to give
yeah.
them a better life than what you knew and had. And that's the goal, right? Every new generation, you try to give them a better life.
Yep.
So what was high school like for MDS?
High, very high. You know what I'm saying? The first year, because again, I'm from Brooklyn. So I
Hmm.
figure I went to graphic arts in Manhattan. I picked Manhattan school to get away from the DCEPs, the gangs, and I knew if I went to my zone school, which was Prospect Heights, I wasn't going to graduate. So I said, let me be smart, go to school in Manhattan. And who tells me I get into school, it's the headquarters to the DCEPs. So it's like I just
In
left.
Manhattan?
Yeah, in Manhattan.
Oh man.
So I went there and I'm seeing all the goons and goblins from the thing I'm trying to run away from. Descendants of their cousins is there, and they're like, man. But again, I loved it because you had Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan. You had a plethora of New York in there, and
Yeah, different boroughs. Yeah.
yeah, and it was down the block from the Universal Building, which was on 50th on 49th between 9th and 10th right there. So I
Yeah.
always seen stars, and that like pushed everything for me. We even had Wu-Tang roll up in a van and empty the whole school out, and that was like the day of inspiration for me. Like they came and we had prominent rappers in there at the time. Rest in peace to Mike. They had a crazy MC named Mike. He was in the hallways. If you was in the hallways in GCA, you know. Rhett Sam, and that was like my big inspiration. So Rhett Sam came outside, the Wu-Tang bus pulled up, and Ghostface and Ray was rapping with him. And he was telling Raekwon, Rhett was telling Raekwon that he could out rap anybody. So Raekwon was hyping him up and was like, yo, go against Ghost, spit. So he spit a verse for Ghostface, and Ghost was like, oh, Ghost ain't rap back with him. Probably was just
Yeah.
hyping him up. But the whole school seen it. So that built the legend of Rhett. Shout out King Prince. You know what I mean? And after that, it was like, I was awe-inspired. I was like, he was the first one in high school that, that was my
Inspired
homie.
you.
So
Yeah.
I was like, wow, and seeing him rapping, he was nice. He was actual family to Smooth the Hustler and Trigger the Gambler. So, that broken language and that era, and that was it for me. And I fell in love. We had so much things. I even went to high school. Shout out to Harlem World, to Sugar J and Cardan. They were in the school too. Homeroom time.
Wow.
Yeah, and I got a lot of Harlem people high. Like I said, after my first year, I wasn't smoking the first year, and then I didn't try out for basketball. I was so scared and nervous of like they had grown ass men. If you went to high school in New York, it was a
Yeah.
difference. Back then, you had
I
grown
bet.
men, damn near 29, still in high school, full beards, with grandkids and shit playing ball. It's like,
Oh man.
you're not like, what kind of
So
super?
you didn't join the basketball team?
Not
Then?
the first year.
Okay.
And
all right.
that summer I got high and I came back, and it was like, took all the angst, all the scaredness out of me, and I tried out for the team. I made JV the 10th grade. Didn't make varsity because again they had beasts. They had
Yeah.
we had, I don't know if you remember Grant Hill,
Yeah.
the spasm
Pistons.
commercial where
Mm-hmm.
the guy caught the spasm on the rim.
Mm-hmm.
That was my homeboy Hamilton. Shout out Ham, in Brooklyn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like I like I had a crazy
Yeah.
6-degree separation type shit. Even graphics itself, Foxy
Okay.
came, her first time performing was at my school. Sticky Fingers used to go there. So it was a plethora of artists and stories that came from graphics that is just everybody.
Man.
Fat Sam, like y'all don't understand. Fat Sam from Harlem, all the battle rap people, y'all know the Goods, the Loaded Luxes and all this stuff. Fat Sam had a hand in teaching these dudes how to get it in, and he's still nice. You see him on Instagram to this day. Fat Sam, love you to death, brother. Yeah, that was just inspiration,
Wow.
and I took all that back. Again, I wasn't from that neighborhood. We weren't from that neighborhood. Everybody just bonded because we met on 50th Street, and that was the love, and that's where.
So that's when you kind of decided and realized you want to be an artist too, or
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So did you start? Is that when you started writing,
Yeah.
or did you start writing before that?
I started writing immediately after that that wu-tang experience. Like
Yeah.
I would play around with it. Like what I used to do, I would beatbox into my headphones to make a beat on a cassette tape. I know I'm talking old shit. And then
Not to me.
retape
I get it.
the retake
You got
the
to, you got,
tape
but you got
beat.
to, but MDS, you got to tape the top holes
Exactly.
to
So
record.
you can't dub over it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
we giving our
I
age
know.
up too much, but I love it. But yeah, so I would, that's how I would make music. So I would record a beat and then record the song over the beat.
Bismarck it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how it started. And then I never wrote it down until I was like, damn, I really got to get these lyrics down and understand song format and stuff like that. And that's what it was. And again, going to graphics every day, you seeing. We had Good Day New York. At this time, it was on channel 11. 11 had the better Good Day New York, and they remember they had a segment in a barbershop where they always would interview rappers and stuff from this one particular barbershop. The shit was down the block from the school, so every day I would pass it. And this one particular day, I bumped into Q-Tip, and I kicked the rhyme for him, and it was one of them like positive, poor righteous teacher rhymes, you know, and he loved it. He was like, yo, here's my beeper. Make sure you hit me back. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget. And I lost the fucking number.
I thought me spitting rhymes to Papoose out on Times Square was a big deal. That you spit rhymes to Q-Tip.
So
I mean, he's a legend, man.
Man, and
he's a legend, bro.
I lost his goddamn. He gave me a beeper number. He's like, yo, make sure you call me back. Ready now, right? You know what I'm saying? Don't forget. And I lost it. I was so pissed off. You know what I mean?
Man.
Q-Tip, if you watching, I was a little kid back then.
Q-Tip, give me a call.
Give me a call. It was me. Nah, I'm still doing it.
Man, I was a big fan of his when he was in Tribe.
Man.
And then he came out with the Vibrant record.
Yeah.
And I used to listen to that all the time, man. I was a big Q-Tip fan. But yeah, that's a cool story, man.
Yeah.
Very cool. So how did you? So after high school, you graduated high school?
Yeah, graduated high school. And,
okay. So you played basketball your sophomore year on JV.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to make varsity?
Yeah, 11th, 12th grade. Okay. I played varsity those 2 years. 11th grade, cool. 11th going into 12th that summer, my sister got locked up. So it was a situation where I had to take her child. She just had a child who was like 4 months old.
Wow.
So I went to Connecticut on a weekend. You know, come through, come chill with your niece. You know, I got to go somewhere. You know, I'm used to that. But holding the family down type. She went away, and then we got the call like she's not coming home, and I'm like, what do you mean she's not coming home? Like I had no
Damn.
idea what was going on. They're like, yo, she got knocked or whatever. So I'm like, I got her kid. Very oblivious to the situation, and it was like,
Yeah.
no, she's not coming home. So 14-year-old me, I came from Stamford, Connecticut with 2 pieces of luggage, a baby on my chest. Good thing I had the jumper thing. I had no bread. So like I'm
What?
on the street with this baby and 2 pieces of, I had to take shit out her apartment. I had to leave the apartment, all that shit. So God is the greatest. Like some people don't know, man. Like God, if you ever doubt God, God is the greatest.
Everything. He's
So
everything, man.
I'm on the street and I'm like, I don't know how. And I'm trying to walk. It's a little walking distance to the train station. Good, like 15-minute walk without nothing. So I got baby, 2 luggage, and a cab pulled over and was like, yo, like, where are you going? I'm like, I need to get to the train station. Got on the train. Everybody let me ride free that day. I got home. My family's in Trinidad at this time. So it's like I had the whole
Yeah.
house to myself. I got a brand new baby, and I had to learn life quick. And as soon as everybody got back, my mom's, she had caught breast cancer, so I had to go through chemo
Oh
with
my
her
God, man.
baby, still trying to go to school. I missed my prom. This is why I didn't go to the prom in high school. I didn't go to a lot. I barely made graduation because of another situation. And
Damn,
yeah,
bro.
so that's why I say high school was very high. It was like people were wondering why. Like I would literally like go to school.
Whew.
Friday was like get drunk day because I would fill up bottle of liquor of everything my mom's had, and I would come to school because I just needed to release, and I would get drunk. I get people drunk,
Jeez.
high, and I'm still functioning in class like fully, like it was nothing. Like I just had too much grown shit I was dealing with in high school that I shouldn't have been dealing with,
That's an
and
understatement, dude.
yeah,
Too much grown. That is an understatement. I can't believe you went through that,
yeah. So and like to even saying it now is like,
bro. Like that. Damn, bro. You tearing me up, bro.
yeah,
Shit.
yeah,
That's hard,
you know what I
man.
mean? And
At 14.
yeah, I mean 14, 15, then I had to go so I had to grow up. And then that last year of high school was kind of like the toughest for me because my sister came home. So and everybody kind of went back to normal. Like I wasn't even there helping. So it was the feeling of neglect from the family, the feeling of no one taking the time. I got my life. I need to set a path of what I'm doing. And at the time, my mom's going through her situation. I know damn well she ain't had no money to pay for college and none of that. So it was ball
Yeah.
scholarship or nothing. So I didn't get the ball scholarship. I had recruiters that came up to me. Yeah. But again, I'm not stressing ball like I should have because I got life shit at home. So on the court, my coach
Makes
is like,
sense.
yo, like, why don't you do this? I'm like, man, fuck you. Like, I gotta be home. I
Yeah.
got
I
this
got real
baby to
life
take
shit.
care of. Like,
I
can
got
we
real
can we
life.
wrap this
Yeah.
shit up or something? So I was on a different speed. Nobody
Sheesh.
understood it at the time. So it was like why are you speedballing? And like I said, therapy
Yeah.
is the greatest thing. So like to be able to talk about it now and
Yeah, man.
but like that's why a lot of shit in the music is that way. Like I had no time. Like I was doing grown shit, very
I
young,
hear you, brother. I hear
and
you, man.
and it was like, you know,
Yeah. Whew. Damn, that is heavy, man.
it's life,
I-
and the thing about
Let me
it,
tell you something.
yeah,
Yeah.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I would say like my story is very well known in the hood, and it's like not to say my particular story. I'm just saying a lot of people have gone through what
Yes.
I've gone through and worse. So like
Hmm.
to see us smile and to see us win, that's the thing. Like this is all I do it for, just to get that win. Like I don't want to survive anymore. I just want to win.
Bro, you already won, man.
Yeah.
You already won. God has already blessed you,
All
bro.
the time, all the
That
time.
is That is so inspiring, man. Just to see you come out on, come out on the other side of that.
Yeah.
That's a lot to go through at a young age.
And I
And
still graduated on time. I still,
yeah,
I actually,
all that. You
yeah,
did all that.
went back to college, got the college degree, and
Mm. Wow, thank you for sharing that,
no
dude.
problem, no problem.
Yeah, man. I'm if there ain't nobody proud of you over there, I'm proud of you, man.
I
Let me tell you.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. I
That's
appreciate it.
yeah, some people just have it so good they don't realize.
Yeah, it's like that. Even like me getting into college, like I said, was the phone call. Then I got there, and like my first day there, I'm in the elevator, high as shit, going to talk to. I didn't even know the assistant coach was in the elevator with me at the
Mm.
time. So it's like I'm hella shit in the air, man. Yeah, I'm the star. I never even practiced one. All I know, they called me, and I'm already on the team. Yeah, I didn't even got to practice. I'm on the team, yo. Like, or that mode. I get off the
We talking
elevator.
about practice.
Yeah, who needs practice on some Iverson
We
shit? Who
talking
need
about
practice?
practice.
Like, I'm ready. Then I got off the elevator. He got off with me. I was like, oh shit. And that coach, shout out Kevin Jackson, one of the greatest coaches. Shout out to Coach Rippey also. But Kevin Jackson, we had a little cheat code. So we were JUCO, which is Class C. So like junior college. So it's like C level, not even, not Division 1, 2, like Division 3.
Yeah.
Division 3 type shit. So our weekend practices, because Kevin Jackson knew God Shamgar. Shout out to God Shamgar. For those who don't know, the basketball player who everybody does his crossover move. And yeah, so he used to bring D-League players to our practice on Saturday. So we were playing NBA players weekend, and then we play regular, like the JUCO college. Now, regular JUCO college, they ain't doing none of that. So we used to kill, like, blow teams out by 20, 30. We went undefeated, and we lost in the playoffs because one team switched their whole team on us and came with a team of Dragos. Like, everybody was like 6'9" and
Look,
above. And
that's Drago right there.
straight up.
Look a little Rocky.
You see, yes,
That's
I see.
Drago the
And
Mount. Look at
Drago on top. See? A whole
Yeah.
team of them, man. And
Switch the whole team up.
and we were drunk because we would get high and drunk before the games because we were
Oh
killing
my
people.
God.
Like, we're playing against NBA and we playing regular, so we have fun. Like our homecoming, like if I tell you the story, like people think I'm bullshit, but our homecoming game, Funk Master Flex DJ'd at our homecoming game. So we had the whole blocked off. It was like Project X type shit. FIT, and right in the back of FIT was two clubs. It was Shadow and it was another club on the same block. So every time, man, so much love FIT. Shout out to FIT. Yeah.
Jeez.
But, yeah, so that was the story in there, and that I was the angry black man there, and that turned into I wound up getting the gold key when I graduated because I got them basically some bullshit. It was they give for student work. I basically I told them that I knew MTV, right? They didn't believe me. I was my homeboy Dave Naddick, shout out to Dave Naddick at MTV, big producer there. He did Blue Wave or what, I can't remember the movie, but it was a movie about blue something. It was a wave surfing movie back in the days. But he had a rock group that he was trying to get to play and do stuff with. And they were trying to get into FIT, but the politics of the school was you needed a school club to get you into school, to do anything. So I was running the radio station at the time. Hey, I'm a school club. I could get you in easily, right? So I did it. So I went to the school. I presented MTV to them, and the lady was laughing at me. Oh, how did you know MTV? Which is reasonable. I walked in there crazy. I had the afro at the time, didn't have the dreads. With my sweatsuit on, I'm like, yo, I know MTV. MTV want to perform. Like, how do you know this? I called them on the phone. They had a conversation, 2 minutes, and they got Viacom internships. They got a bunch of stuff because them two linked and they were able to bridge the gap. So I did a lot. So they gave me the gold key because of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
So
Got you.
yeah.
What did the gold key do? Or was it just an award
Not a
or
goddamn thing. It was just an award to say the truth of the matter is I was running the radio and
yeah.
the antenna broke due to 9/11 and they didn't want to pay for a new antenna. So I was abreast of the cable system they had. So they were running cable in the dorms, but you can also put it on the TVs in the school. So I told them to run the radio station through the cable. They had like 3 designated channels just for the school. So I said, give me one of those channels. Let me run programming. I'm running in the record labels. I'm getting DVDs at the time. DVDs was big.
Yeah.
So I was getting video DVDs. So they will do like a package DVD of all the artists that's coming out. They put all their videos on one DVD.
Yeah.
So I would get from Universal, Def Jam, Rockefeller. So I had about 8 DVDs. I would leave on the weekend in the DVD player, and it will run for the kids in the dorm all weekend. So you're not missing any if you bored, you could turn on WFIT and there's something entertaining. So
Yeah.
the alumni walked in a weekend and he seen the TV monitor with the stuff on, and he donated $3 million to them.
Oh wow.
And they built a whole goddamn wing and something in the A building, new departments. So of course, I asked for money. I said, yo, y'all got 3. That's the thing. Like I always find out shit that I shouldn't know the information for. So I found out that this guy donated the $3 million, and of course, ABM, the Angry Black Man, went in the office. Where the hell is my money? I heard somebody donated. Oh, this is not how that works. You're a student. You can't get money. Like, what the hell you? I'm like, nah, but that was, that was the hard lesson of life. But I'm gracious for the opportunity that I had there. Shout out to Professor Coquinos. That was my supervisor, my road dog. He even got a tenure because of it. And I think more power, he was given more power because of our run at FIT. And I didn't focus on fashion because there was toy design, there was jewelry design, there was international shit. And I kind of shunned fashion because of the MTV situation. And the whole school loved me because I gave them. So they were getting more influx of student because of more stuff I was putting out, and I had no idea of what I was doing. So they gave me the gold key to pacify my situation. So
I see.
Yeah, I love FIT though all the time.
Yeah. No, here it's a good school.
Yeah.
So you graduated with marketing?
Yeah, marketing, AMC, advertising, marketing, communications, bachelor's. Okay. Yeah.
And when you graduated from FIT, what did you do after that? Like, what was your first job?
Working for Sadiq, which was for kind of like subsidiary for wu-tang. Raekwon was dropping the Purple Tape 2 at the time. He started working on that, and then they started doing like docu-series on certain members of the Wu, and I was doing that, and then I went to another guy named Conductor, and we were doing more developmental stuff like that. Kind of like the stuff. Now I'm going to tell you another story. It's kind of, like every shit is weird. So Apple, again, I'm the president of the radio station. So Apple came to us personally. We were the first people to learn about podcasting. So that's when the video, remember they had the video iPod?
Yeah.
So they came with that. The podcast was made for the video. They thought the video iPod was going to last forever. So they decided to do podcasting just for the video podcast. So that's when Apple came, and we had a meeting. Because I was the president of the radio station, I had to be there. I didn't want to fucking be there. Had to be. I thank God I was there though. So I didn't even know what it was about. So Apple came and they told us, yeah, we're going to do podcasting, and this is how you do it. This is and look how podcasting is, right? Look, I'm on a podcast right now. You see, see how God is. So
Full circle.
man, full circle. So having this information and then taking it to like hip hop labels and stuff like that. I would always stay freelance. I never had an actual job with any label or anything like that, because every time I was there, again, I was there on premise of WFIT. So I was in the know of the know. Like I was in the business, but
Yeah.
I would see the dirty works. I would see the underhanded things. Not saying that everybody know the business is shady, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do certain dirty shit to get results. So sometimes I had a hand in some of the dirty stuff. Sometimes I didn't want to be involved because I knew the dirty shit. So this is why I went the independent route. And
I see. So
because
you
of
were
the
the
independent, yeah.
you had already graduated from FIT, and then you were still kind of the president of the.
No, once I left FIT, it was no more presidency. But I had built a
Okay.
rapport while I was in FIT with the
Like
record label.
relationships or whatever.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
after I left there, that's how you learn. Like if you can't be used, that's how you learn all them phrases in the game. If you're not, if you can't be used, you're useless. You know what I mean? So once I left that, FIT left with me. So a lot of people like, oh, I didn't have any bargaining chips to talk about. You know what I mean? So it was like, you can't get me in FIT no more. That type of
Yeah.
shit. So a lot of friendships diminished. And at
I
that
see.
time, the LimeWire shit was happening. So a lot of people were losing their jobs because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the person who told me about that was Hank Shockley from Public Enemy.
Okay.
I was filming one day, fly on the wall type shit. That's why I said in the song, like fly on the wall is how I got my information. I'm
Mm.
filming, and he started telling us about the breakdown of the industry, like the MP3s really killed the industry, and everybody's trying to go
Yeah. Yeah.
streaming and stuff like that. So that's the next move. So I again, once I learned that information, it was time to go independent. And at about that time is when we met. So that's when I was more
Mm.
on that journey and road at that time, because I was abreast to the situation of the independent in the record labels falling and stuff like that.
I see. When were you making music? Was it during the FIT days?
Yeah, during FIT years I was 2000, because remember I went West Palm Beach, so I was
Yeah.
down
Hmm.
there making music, trying to do New York music in down South Florida, which made no goddamn sense. So
Yeah, it's a different market. Yeah.
yeah, totally. Again, you got to learn. So I was in
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale. They got Fort Lauderdale. They got a
No.
Hollywood in Fort Lauderdale. So I was down there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Hollywood, for those who know, is the hood down there.
Hmm.
So you learn again. I'm doing open mics, performing, and I did one open mic one night, and like I paid again for those who independent artists. We struggle a lot. So like for us at the time to spend $100 to perform, it's like it's like a budget, like a $10 million budget. So I went there and I paid my $100 to perform, and it was one of those perform, and if you win the night, you get $5,000. And then
Mm.
they had radio personalities there. Jill Tracy um, from Florida, Miami. She was one of the big she was like a Wendy Williams of
Okay.
Florida at the time. So she was there. I had no idea who the hell she was at the time. But I'm performing. A guy comes in like a Rick Ross dude, big heavy dude with like 93 people with him, right? So I'm like, I don't give a fuck how much people you got with you. I'm battling this dude. I just whipped his ass. I won. So he gets on stage and automatically like he's in the tournament. So I'm looking down, I'm like, New York. I'm like, dude, you ain't even announce yourself. Like, like I'm battling you. I already won the battle. This is in my mind. So I'm oblivious to the 93 people he got. He get off stage and he's like, yo, if I want to battle, I'm like, hell yeah. I get on stage, I battle him. I do like a girl verse because there's girls in there. So I get them first. And then he was kind of a heavy set dude. I'm a skinny dude. So, we always got to joke on each other. So I did a fat joke. I did something, you go eat some burgers or something. You know what I mean? So when I said that, the girls started laughing in the club or whatever. He got off stage mad. I got off stage mad. So I'm beelining to where he beelining because I'm going upstairs to the manager. I want my $100 back. So I'm up in the thing. So when I get up there, it's like 15 to 20 goons on the staircase leading up to the VIP, to the owner's, office of the club. I'm walking through all these dudes, like oblivious. I get up there and I see him in there. So I'm like, man, don't tell me you own the club. So when I said that, he started laughing. He's like, man, like you crazy. Like, you don't know who I am? I'm like, I don't know who the hell you are. All I know is I won.
I'm from New York.
Yeah, I'm from New York. You know us
from
New
right
York
here.
people. And we bonded for that night. We stayed there. Again, I was dolo. I had my producer with me, but I'm up there dolo. So I wound up bonding with him. I forgot his name. Shout out to homie if you remember that from back in the days. But we had a good time in VIP. And they never paid me my $100 back. But I ain't worried about it. She gave me a shout
I
out
used
on
to
the
hate.
radio about the whole story the next day. So on the
Okay.
highway, I was hyped. I got on the radio in Florida. But yeah,
Yeah, I used to hate that. I mean, it still happens where you got to like sell the tickets
Yeah, pay to play, man.
or pay. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Well, you got to pay anyway, but you got to sell tickets to get the money back.
yeah,
Get people to come. Yeah, it's a whole racket.
yeah.
But yeah, you got to get in front of people, right? That's
Somehow.
how you get your name out there. You got to get in front of people.
Yeah.
Man, told a lot of stories, man.
Man,
A lot of interesting stories.
yeah. And not even half.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I would say, I feel like you already told your underdog story,
Man, I
right?
got one more thing, right?
Okay.
This is like
Because
boom,
man, that was deep. But
right?
yeah, go ahead. Go
This may
ahead.
not be an underground underdog story, but
Hmm.
it is something significant to hip hop. So
Okay,
my
go ahead.
professor in FIT, Professor Rose is a Duke enthusiast. He loves Duke.
Okay.
I played college basketball, sort of, for the school. He knew I played for the school, so I was into ball. I just fuck with him because he liked Duke, so I would pick any team that would be opposed to Duke. So that was our little camaraderie. So he knew I did the radio station or whatever. Like, I left school for a whole year, came back, and when I did the West Palm thing, when I came back is when I started college again. So 2000, after I played ball, left, went West Palm for a couple years, came back, finished the degree. Because when I finished the degree is when I became president of the radio station. So I had two separate stints in FIT. So
Okay.
during the second stint, I had his class again. And I was president of the radio station at this time. So he comes in baffled, his face is red, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? He's a white dude, you know what I mean? So to see him red faced, it's like,
Yeah, you could tell.
something's
Yeah.
wrong. Like, so
Right.
it's like, he's steaming. He's like, oh, these fucking guys in the academy keep bothering me. But I'm like, academy? I was like, what the hell you mean academy? He's like, I'm in the board. So for the Grammys, for those who don't know, it's picked by 10 random people, right? That's who they nominate you. And then those 10 people, it's like there's a lot of judges in the Grammys. So don't get it confused, there's only 10 people. But every category, they delegate 10 people to that category to pick the winner. So it's like over 100 judges all around. I'm not specific to the number, but
Okay.
he had 5 CDs at the time. He said, I'm the tiebreaker. This is what he's upset about. He's the tiebreaker of picking the winner of this category. And he needs his answer by 3 o'clock. Mind you, class is 2:10. So he had to make a break just to give his answer to this. So he's coming to me now with the 5 CDs. And you won't guess who the pick was. Eminem's 8 Mile.
Oh wow.
So I got M his Grammy, and not nothing of I wrote the song or did any other shit like that, but M, I got you that Grammy off the strength. He had 5 CDs in it, and I remember he won it for original soundtrack, right? So he had 5 in his hand, and that was the only hip hop song of the 5 that he had in his hand, and that's why I picked 8 Mile, and that's how M got his shit.
Wow.
So it was like,
That's a crazy story.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Man. So Marshall Mathers owes you, man.
Yeah, man, you owe me, Eminem, you owe me. I love you, man. You lucky, man. You lucky. Had there been any other hip hop, it would probably have been y'all too, but he was the only hip hop there. And I love hip hop today. I wasn't going to not see hip hop not win at all. So it was like, fuck that hip hop.
Wow.
And he left the room, made the call. He's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And
that's crazy.
He went on with the day. You know what I mean? So that's, again, why I put in one of the songs, I know exactly how this shit, I had a song called Boulé. And I did, and that was probably one of the songs I performed in the 5 spot at the time. And it was just talking about that. Like, I know a man on board, how everything gets fixed. You know what I mean? So I was talking about that instance. You know what I mean? And again, hip hop world, don't crucify me. I'm not trying to say that because of me, Eminem is who he is or whatever. I'm just saying because Eminem is hip hop and we love Eminem and adore Eminem for being 100% hip hop is why he got that Grammy. He deserved it, definitely. 8 Mile, that Lose Yourself shit, great fucking song, one of the top 10 songs.
Yeah, it's a good song.
In hip hop history, period. Like
you know what's funny? You know what's funny though is in that interview with Sway, he was like, I will never go to another award show again. Remember?
Yeah.
He was like, he hates the award shows now.
Because I don't blame him. This shit is so.
It feels rigged, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know if it is, but
man, it is like because that was the plan. As an independent artist, again, I had people that I knew that were judges.
Yeah.
At the time, my significant other at the time, she knew advocacies. You become an advocate, then you become a judge, and then from the judge they spread you out to certain genres,
categories.
Yeah, and then you stick to that category, and that's how it is. So if you know a person in there, 3 people you get nominated. This is why some nominated people you never heard of their music or their album. So that again in itself is to tell independent artists to keep making music. Yeah. Because you never know who you know and that they know you. And 2 people could say, yo, nominate XYZ for a Grammy. Even though you don't win, a nomination goes a long way.
Wow, man. Thank you for sharing those stories. That's crazy. All right. So I like to end the podcast with a segment I call the quick questions game.
Got you.
As you know, I'm an actor, and I'm inspired by the James Lipton show. It was Inside the Actor Studio. It was on Bravo. I don't know if you ever seen it before, but what he does at the end of his show, he is used to ask a series of 10 questions. They're just like rapid fire, quick response questions. If you want to elaborate, you can.
Got you.
But they're just like random questions that are fun.
Got you.
So we'll end it on that.
Got you.
All right. So, first question. Who's your favorite music artist or band?
Tie between Redman and LL Cool J.
LL Cool J Bad was my first cassette tape ever.
I went to that concert.
Did you?
Yeah.
Man. What's your favorite film?
Don't laugh. Grease and Fear of a Black Hat. But Grease is, yeah.
Oh, wow. If there was one song you could pick that played every time you walked into a room, what would it be?
The intro to Mystical, but everybody use it. It's like this pimp, boom, boom, boom.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Boom,
Yep,
boom.
yep.
Everybody use it to come out to that boom, boom. Here I go, here I go. That yeah, that
That's
shit
great.
pump.
Oh man, I feel like I heard that recently too. That's so crazy
Yeah,
you brought
a
that
lot
up.
of comedians. Cat Williams used to use it when
That's
he
right. That's
started
right. You
shows.
did use that.
Yeah, that should bump.
Oh man, that's great. That's a good one. Okay. Um, what's your favorite sound?
Uh, I like horns. Like I don't know the
Like a
names of specific horns. It's like a soft, maybe
okay. What
clarinet
if
or
it's like
some
a
shit.
what if it's like a Viking horn? Like
Yeah, even that. Emergency horn. You know what I mean? To wake up.
All right. What's your favorite smell?
Used to be gasoline. I don't know why, but
You're the second New Yorker that said that, man.
I'm telling
What is it with New Yorkers and
you, got
gasoline?
that shit. It smell good. It fucking do. I don't know. Whoever that other person was, I fucked with you because yeah, man, it was
That's
it
so
was
funny.
great. And now I guess marijuana.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite place to vacation?
I don't think I've been there yet. So the places that I've been, Amsterdam was fun. And Dublin. Oh my God, I went to Dublin. Hi from Amsterdam. And everybody in there was like, what the fuck is Bob Marley doing here? It was like Conor McGregor's was coming out every fucking way.
Oh my God.
I went in the chicken spot. I had a fucking hour conversation with a dude who loved hip hop, and he proceeded to tell me why he chose West Coast over East Coast in the beef. Like we don't know. Like they take hip hop serious across the world. Like that.
Oh yeah.
Hip hop is definitely.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Dublin. You know what I mean? I would say that.
Dublin. That's hilarious. What's Bob Marley doing here?
Yo, everywhere. Like they coming out of the clubs. It's like, oh shit, it's fucking Bob Marley. What fucking yo, the chicken there is crazy. Oh man.
Love it. What's your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
Damn, it's so popular that word.
Fuck.
All right, so we'll get a little serious now. A couple more that are a
Alright.
little serious. Who do you look up to?
Everybody. I even look up to my children. I look up to God first and foremost.
Yeah.
Everyone, even losers, I look up to losers because they teach you, not to lose.
Yeah. Who's someone you'd like to say thank you to?
Clement Bacote. That's one of my managers. Still to this day, I like one of my big brothers. He's one of the, I would say, only people that went out on a limb for me. And I don't mean to say it like that, like nobody ever went out on a limb, but he got bread. We hit the road, and he put money into me from my West Palm Beach days. He was down for me. He's still down with me. Yeah, Clement. That's my dog.
Awesome. Last question. When it's your time and your life is over and you arrive at the pearly white gates, what would you like to hear God say to you?
I'm proud of you.
Love it. That's a great way to end it. MDS, thank you so much for doing this. Where are some of the places, maybe some links or whatever, where people can find you, find your music?
Right now, I'm putting out Language of the Leaders 3. I may have it on Spotify. Right now, Language of the Leaders 2, which the cover work, some people don't know, was done by yours truly, Mr. JC The Truth. That's on Spotify. Yo, on some real shit. That it got like 4 mil 4 mil spins or whatever through
That's
Spotify.
great.
Grace of God. Language of the Leaders
Congratulations.
too. You know what I mean? And even in the beginning, you hear the ding ding ding. You know what I mean? We rock. Pick up JC the Truth album. Shout out to the Trey I fam, Smoke, Nico, Detour, Life. If I'm forgetting somebody, Vintage. You know, that's it.
That's it.
Draz. Shout out to everybody. Franklin Ave, East New York, Triple I Entertainment. Shout out to my kids. That's the last.
You gotta have
That's
the
the
kids.
last thing. Shout out to
You gotta have the
Trey,
kids.
the big boy, and the little one, Andy Pandy. Love you. Shout out to my significant others. And that's family, that's love, that's everybody in the comments. I ain't gonna sit here naming everybody. But
we're gonna go down the list.
Straight up. Shout out to Brooklyn. And hip hop, always, forever. It will never change. Hip hop. And shout out to Art and Underdogs. Straight up.
There you go. Now I'm glad we kept in touch, over all these years, man.
I already told you from day one. Like, that's one thing with me. If I fuck with you from day one, you got a friend of me always. You know what I mean?
Even same here,
talk,
man.
Even if we don't talk every fucking day, like, I'm not. It's love always. That's what.
I love it, man.
Yeah. And I'm proud of you, man. You acting your ass off. I told you. Man.
I'm trying, brother.
Man, you ain't trying. You doing. Like I told you from the first time you was getting them acting classes. I told you, man. You're gonna be there in a few months. Don't even worry about it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate all the support and all the kind words you've been sending.
I was trying to get my black ass up to the thing that day. I swear, like, so much shit happened. And like I couldn't even get the car to fucking come. I was like, man.
I can't even remember, so don't even worry about it.
That's right.
I can't remember what it was.
We got plenty more. Yeah. Red carpets.
More opportunities coming.
Hell yeah.
All right. MDS, this has been a Art and Underdogs podcast episode with the man. My damn self. Take care, guys.